A red carpet welcome in Alaska.
Again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. No, I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you.
A show of strength in Washington.
I showed the President a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. Yeah. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting.
And the promise of a historic meeting.
We're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
While speculation is building for a possible encounter between Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky, let's go back to the first and only time that both men have met. A summit in Paris 6 years ago was the first and only time that the two presidents ever met, flanked by French President Emmanuel Macron and Germany's then-Chancellor Angela Merkel. At the time, Putin and Zelensky were looking to hash out a ceasefire deal for war in Donbass in Ukraine's east, where Russian-backed forces were fighting Ukrainian troops. The Ukrainian president had been elected just months earlier in spring that year, his first role in political office. The mood between the pair was chilly at first. There was no public handshake, and they are said to have largely avoided eye contact during the meeting. Clean-shaven and sporting a suit, Zelensky cut a strikingly different figure compared to his more familiar appearance now as a wartime leader. The two sides agreed to implement all necessary ceasefire support measures before the end of 2019 and to release all the prisoners of war. After the summit, Putin hailed the talks as an important step towards de-escalation. Zelensky also hailed the meeting as a big step towards peace. After a full-scale Russian invasion in 2022, Putin's disdain for Ukraine's president has deepened. He almost never utters the name Zelensky. The Kremlin insists he's an illegitimate leader. Russian state television calls him a clown. But in the last week, President Donald Trump's rapid-fire diplomacy on the Russia-Ukraine war could result in Putin and Zelensky coming face-to-face again. According to the White House, Putin has promised to meet with Zelensky in the coming weeks.
Just a clarification on something you said earlier about Putin agreeing to the meeting. The Kremlin seemed to indicate that Putin did not firmly agree to a bilateral. Did he agree to have a sit-down with just Zelensky on the phone?
I can assure you that the United States government and the Trump administration is working with both Russia and Ukraine to make that bilateral happen as we speak.
I understand that the White House is working and allies are working to make this meeting happen, but did Putin promise to do a meeting with Zelensky, a direct meeting, in the coming weeks?
He has, and I just answered that question for you. Franco.
But Russia has not confirmed that Putin will sit down with Zelensky and is demanding to be a part of any discussion on security guarantees.
Шаг за шагом, постепенно, начиная с экспертного уровня и далее, проходя все необходимые ступени для того, чтобы готовить саммиты, вот такой серьезный подход мы всегда будем поддерживать.
Putin is in no rush to meet Zelensky. There was also little discussion on the possibility of a Putin-Zelensky meeting on Russian state television. Sources close to the Kremlin said it was hard to imagine Putin agreeing to a meeting unless it was clear that Zelensky was prepared to accede to Russia's key demands. To sit down with Zelensky for a purpose short of that could stir controversy in Russia. A one-on-one negotiation could allow Putin and Zelensky to be seen as equals. That's precisely why Trump's insistence that a meeting between Zelensky and Putin is in the works is hard to believe for most in Russia. Putin would agree to a meeting with Zelensky if the Kremlin was satisfied with the concessions that the Ukrainian president would be willing to make. Moscow has set its sights on the Donbass region, including Donetsk, which is said to be rich in mineral resources and serves as the industrial heart of Ukraine. Zelensky has long opposed surrendering sovereign territory to Russia, saying that the nation's constitution forbids it. Zelensky insists that Ukraine must be the decision maker regarding its own territory. Putin now faces a situation similar to when Trump pressed him to agree to a ceasefire. At the time, he managed to maneuver around the pressure. Experts believe he's likely to take a similar approach this time round as well, downplaying the prospect of talks without rejecting them outright.